to those who waited to make their judgment, to get the facts that the shit just wasn't true. Thank you. To the people who made a decision and left comments, the people who know me or who have known me, y'all, and y'all wouldn't say it to my face.
When we last left off, the owner of the Airbnb property in DC went to court to get a court order to remove the lady that was squatting in her property without paying for over 10 months. They didn't waste any time. The same night, the community pitched in and they evicted her. And the most embarrassing thing, the news live streamed her eviction. Crazy.
That's fine. Oh, okay. Yeah,
all her stuff on the curb.
You have a few minutes. I could tell you when we're starting, but when we start, you could just...
That's our reporter, who's the hero in this story because she came through when everybody was giving her the runaround. Here's a daytime. See, they went over right after court and got that stuff up out of there. This is them picking up some of the stuff and taking it out of the building. That's a shame. You have to now come in and actually take all the stuff out. This is literally the owner of the property here clearing this up. And it's ridiculous. Look at the amount of stuff that she had in this Airbnb temporary rental. Like, that should be noted as well. But it's good that she got these people to put this stuff out. You can come get your stuff off the curb if you want it, you know, or else it's going out with the trash. And just grabbing whatever trash bags they can find and putting all that stuff in there. That's right, as they should. Anyway, after they evicted her, I just happened to see that a couple of days ago, and she has made her Instagram private. The lady in question, after she was evicted, she actually wanted to make a statement pleading her side of this ridiculous story.
I have had people reaching out to the stores that my products in.
Yeah.
I've had people reaching out to the schools that I have mentored girls in.
That's what happens.
I've had people reaching out to organizations that I've done free events for. Mind you, about 98 to 99% of the work that I have done has been from me. Even when I've needed help, I've helped because I've always thought it's somebody out here worse than me. Today in court, it was proven, or it was admitted, that the false narrative that I have been staying at a place since February and that someone has been trying to get me out since March, it was untrue.
Wait a minute. We all saw with our own eyes the news report of them pleading their case, talking about step by step how you had violated this woman's agreement with you, which was Airbnb. Now, she did make the mistake of taking you off the books, taking you off the platform. I don't know whether to save money or make money, but and that's what Airbnb's statement said is why they couldn't intervene. But make no mistake about it. From what I'm seeing, from what the news has corroborated and the owner, you were dead wrong. So how are we now having this sob story? How are we now hearing this sob story? Something's off here.
It was not true. The narrative that I had been staying at a place since February and had not made a payment since March, that was also untrue. It was admitted on record that payments had been received up until the end of September.
What?
Now there is a payment in question. Somehow that payment wasn't received.
Well, you would have been able to pull up those receipts very easily in court, and they would not have ordered an actual eviction. They should not have had to get to that point. Once you saw you could not pay, you should have self-evicted. The fact that you allowed this thing to linger on and let this woman pay $4,000 a month while you sitting up in the house chilling, going on trips. I don't know what it is about this modern era of women that has to be traveling even when they're in a messed up situation stateside. You know, you don't need to be going out of the country if that. You don't need to be helping people. You need to be helping yourself. That's what that sounds like.
I don't know, but there's a payment there's only one payment in question. So the narrative that I have been staying at a place since March and not making any payments, it was untrue. Documentation was provided that showed that I did not initiate the switching from Airbnb to direct payments to the owner. And
that's what I was mentioning about the payments being switched over. But that sounds like a loophole too that she's trying to work out that makes it seem like, yeah, it wasn't my fault that we switched over payments.
Some scheme to circumvent a process that wasn't the case. Those direct payments were sent, those direct links were sent willingly. Not only willingly. All this clearing of the throat and trying to get to emotional state. She couldn't quite bring up the tears on the news, if you notice the news episode, the news clip that I played. But they were initiated by the other party. Although it was decided that I don't have tenant rights, those things were untrue. So she was going after the tenant rights is what it sounds like. And to get on the news to say things that are untrue shows a lot about a person's character and shows that they had malicious intent because they knew it would go off like this. The nerve of you. The fact that she didn't go in there and forcibly remove you. If she was one of my commenters on the last video, she would have, you got it easy. What they were saying they would have done was way worse than the method that she took. Putting a little sign on the front to kind of publicly shame, a scarlet letter of sorts saying that you are in this property illegally, like blasting it out to the whole neighborhood. You got lucky. That's what really frustrates me about this. And the thing about the truth is that the truth doesn't always, it's not heard as loud as the lie is. So the damage that this has caused, irreparable. Hold up. Did you just hear what I heard? Is she really trying to build the case for her reputation being damaged? Is this woman going to try to now sue somebody? She better not. She better not. That is absolutely ridiculous. Now, we don't know all the story. Obviously, she's saying there's some more to the story. Obviously, there's 3 sides to every story. Your side, her side, and the truth is somewhere in the middle there. But to make us think that you have somehow been harmed and your reputation has been damaged by this lady who was doing nothing but trying to get you out of a property you weren't supposed to be in more than 30 days. Diabolical. Egregious. Egregious. Shout out to ZZ. I'm going to take some time away because, as I said, this has been the hardest. Everything that I do with my business, I do it with love. Everything I do with my nonprofit, I do with love. She got a nonprofit. And I can't do either right now with the amount of pain that is in my heart. To those who waited to make their judgment, to get the facts that the just wasn't true, thank you. To the people who made a decision and left comments, the people who know me or who have known me, y'all, and y'all wouldn't say it to my face.
Wow. Defiance. That's what we getting here. We getting all defiance when you could have just got out of that lady's property. That's insane. This is insanity. That's what I'm saying. This woman needs some counseling of some kind. She needs to seek therapy, is what I would say.
I wish, as I always wish, I hope you know love up close. And the thing about it is, when you know love up close, you move differently. You don't move to find things about somebody and break them down. You don't do that. You don't make fake pages and fake numbers to harass people. You don't do that when you moving with love and when you know love up close. And because I know love up close, I know I will be okay. I might not be okay in this moment, but I will be, because I have some people who will make sure that when I'm too deep in the trenches, they pull me out. That's all I got.
Yeah, you need to call some of them folks, man. I don't think you would be in this situation right now if you really had some folks that were solid around you. But you know, the funny thing about this is a type of person that doesn't take any responsibility, man. She really represents so much of what we've seen online over the past few years. Just people behaving badly for no reason at all. Just don't want to play with the rules. Don't want to color inside the lines, want to be out, want to be a special snowflake. She got a nonprofit. She got a nonprofit out here supposedly helping people, but she's actually causing a burden to this lady. Like, does she understand that? But either way, this person that posted the video, she actually went in and she did a little digging around how this lady has been moving in this 10 months while she's been living in that place. It says, DC squatter only made 3 payments, but was in Jamaica in October, 2-3 months ago, and had a business making over $17K. Yeah, she did mention in one of the interviews that she was beat for $17,000, that she was not paid. So yeah, this is the Cash App payments, PayPal payment, and this is her in Jamaica. Oh, don't miss that twerking. Twerking seems to be one of those things where it's always associated with this type of bad behavior, right? Twerking in the pool, drinking Mai Tais or whatever the hell that is, posing for pictures, got swimsuits on. Oh, got laid back, relaxed, just chilling in Jamaica. She didn't get off the resort, it seems, obviously. But the nerve of her, man. See, she doesn't really see reality because she hasn't faced repercussions. She hasn't faced any consequences for how she's been moving. I mentioned in the last video that there were several luxury properties around the city that this woman is alleged to have defrauded out of rent. So she doesn't see the reality of how wrong it is to overstay at an Airbnb, and how a lot of people that own property aren't necessarily the wealthiest people out here that can just float you for 10 months at $4,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a super favor that you probably wouldn't ask a family member for, but to ask a complete stranger to allow you to stay there, to pay $40,000 in your stead so that you and your kids, which she got in trouble with CPS, and I'm pretty sure like that's going to be coming down the pike too. She brought that child into the townhouse with no electricity in there. So she's supposedly out here helping other people with a nonprofit while being a burden to this lady. And she really does need to seek therapy, because I can see several issues here and problems that she's facing with her worldview. But anyway, hopefully she takes it seriously and she steps out there, get some help, get some housing, get some sheltering or whatever, because it's getting cold out there. Winter has come, as we see. And yeah, she need to get her mind right. A lot of people need to get their mind right. But anyway, the one I feel sorry for is the kids. I think she has one or two. I feel sorry that they got to spend their holiday season out, either with relatives or at a shelter, because of some decision like this. A mother that can't really provide for them in the way they need to. But anyway, let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. Sign up for the Patreon. The link is in the description. This is Faucette Media.